Welcome, viewers and listeners, to another recap of the AMCL. And this is week three. To all who have tuned in again, apologies for keeping you waiting. We had a few technical and network issues, but we are on the road. I can see a lot of people already, going back and forth, and we are live. So, once again, welcome to the AMCL weekly recap, sponsored by TIP and brought to you by the Lagos Esports Forum. TIP NG is a gifting platform that allows fans, families, well wishers to tip you for your content generally. So, for gamers who stream their content or do, clips and put up, your viewers are able to tip you. You don't need to show any sensitive information like your phone number or account number. Once you go to tip.i.ng, you create your account. You have the link that you can share to fans and anyone who wants to kind of, bless your ministry. So with that, today I do have Joshua with me. Shayo isn't here. He's also having network issues. Hopefully he can join us before the end of the show. So Josh, how are you and how was week three?
I'm doing really great. Aside the whole network issues, like other than that, yeah, I'm fine. But week three, man, week three was filled with a lot of violence. I believe I said that during last week's recap that we would see a lot of action from teams both in the Premier Division as well as the Championship Division. You understand? And they lived up to it. They lived up to expectations. A lot of matches, a lot of fireworks.
Okay, wonderful. So, for all who are joining us once again, this recap is brought to you by Tip. And you can see we do it for the love of the game and for the joy of the tips. So, if you create content, you can go ahead and sign up and just spread your link so that, fans and well wishers can go ahead um, and bless your ministry, as I would say. So let's jump straight into it, Josh. With no time wasting, we do have the championship division, the first match day for week three, which was match day 7. And we had Revenge winning Aphelion 2-0. We had Knights losing to Comet Gaming 2-0. Regiment losing to Wakandas 2-1. Void Gaming losing to Elite Gamers 2-0. Menace losing to Area 50, not losing this time, winning Area 7 2-1. And K9, had an automatic win because they had no fixture for that day. What were the surprises for you, Josh, for the fixtures? Josh, are you with us?
Yeah, sorry, my mic was on mute.
Okay.
One of the main surprises for me was regiments coming out victorious against Wakandans. I mean, regiments are a bit weakened. They don't have their full complement of players, you get. So I expected that Wakandans would take either a 2-0 win or a 2-1 win in that matchup. But apparently, regiments had enough in them to get the win as well as the 3 points there. So yes, that was one surprise. Another surprise there was Menace versus Area 57. I
Area
mean,
57, yeah.
these are two teams at opposite ends of the table. I definitely didn't expect to see Area 57 losing 2-1. I have no idea how that happened. Most definitely a fluke.
When you say fluke, 2-1, 2-1 doesn't look like it. I guess it was just a bad day for Area 57 because that was the shock of that match day for me.
Exactly, because looking at Area 57's performance like the past couple of weeks, you would easily expect a 2-0 win or a 2-1 win at best for them. You understand? But for them to lose 2-1, like losing is not something we've come to associate with Area 57 over the course of the league so far.
Wonderful, wonderful. So let's jump to match day 8 now, where Aphelion Eclipse forfeited against K9. Wakandans loves to revenge. Elite won Knights 2-0. Area 57 came back and won Regiments 2-1. Void also forfeiting to Menace and Comet having the automatic win. I think the question now is what is going on with Aphelion? They seem not they're just not able to rally themselves and pull themselves out. What do you think is going on?
Personally, like I've heard some rumors here and there. You understand? I feel Aphelion are having some internal issues. You understand that not even the transfer window could fix. I feel they're having internal issues, and there's not much that can be done about that. I've had instances where they would only have two or three available players on match day, and with things like that, it kills the motivation of the team. It hampers a lot of things, basically. So I feel they they were just not ready for the league, if you ask me.
Yeah, like they always say, failure to prepare is preparing to fail. So I guess they didn't figure all that um, out. Another talking point for me is my revenge. They seem to be kind of grabbing few results here and there.
Yeah, that's the thing about my revenge. You understand? If you look at the championship division, a lot of people are quick to talk about Comet Gaming and Area 57 as well as Elite Gamers. But my revenge, they're just there. They're not exactly in the background per se, but they're there, but at the same time, they're not there. They're kind of like the cryptic gaming of the championship
Of
division. You know
championship,
the way
yeah.
cryptic are in
Mm-hmm.
Premier Division. I feel like that's what my revenge is. I mean, nobody saw this coming. Them getting a 2-1 win over Wakandans. I mean, at some point in time, Wakandans had 100% record after 5 or 6 matches, I think, if I'm not
Mm-hmm.
mistaken, unless that's another tournament. So looking at their track record and all that, you understand, it would have been easy to say that Wakandans will get the win. But my revenge, they dug in deep. I'm guessing they spoke to themselves before the game and all that. And even during the game, they dug in deep. They got the win. So yeah.
Okay. So to all our viewers, let us know what your surprise was for week three. It could be a team not doing well, or it could be a team that surprised you by doing well. Let us know what you think. I can see comments thrown here saying Wakandan's 100% was against struggling teams. So he's
I
justifying
was
that
actually about to say that. I think I might have to go back and look at the matches of week 1 and week 2 to
week
see if
two. Yeah.
Crone was right.
hmm Also, Deadshot said Wakanda losing to my revenge was shocking. Just to you, was the result shocking or it was expected?
Yeah, no, it was shocking. It was shocking in the sense that I had a little outside bets with the manager of my revenge. You understand? After looking
Mhm.
at their fixtures for the week, I was like, I honestly don't see you guys taking any points. So they surprised me. They got the 3 points. So yes, indeed, it was very, very shocking to me. It was shocking to me, to be honest.
Okay. Ayodele Awolalu said my revenge win wasn't shocking. I guess he's a my revenge fan in this case. So guys, keep the um your comments going. Let us know what the surprise was for you for the week. Um so let's keep on moving. We do have the final day, the face of Friday, where K9 lost to Comet Gaming 1-2. Aphelion also forfeiting, which gave Wakandans that win. And finally, for that week, my revenge lost after picking two wins during the week. They lost to Area 57 1-2. Menace, who lost also both weeks, finally got a win over the Knights 2-0. And Regiment picking 2-1 over Void and Elite Gamers, because not having a fixture, were able to pick an automatic 3 points. So, guys, what was the surprise for you? Josh, what was the surprise fixture for you? Or results, rather?
Okay. The surprise fixture for me was, let me see. Apparently, I feel I may have been sleeping on a Menace gaming. You understand? Because looking at the matchup, I would have gone for what's it called, for Knights to get the win there. But apparently, Menace had other ideas. They got a 2-0 win, got the 3 points. They didn't drop any maps whatsoever. So that was definitely a shocker. And my revenge versus Area 57. I mean, I expected a win from Area 57, so that's not surprising at all. So yeah, the only surprise for me there was Knights versus Menace. What another match that I was thoroughly entertained. That was K9 versus Comet Gaming. That was a really really entertaining match. Anybody that missed that, man, missed out on a lot there.
Yeah, I believe they can go back and watch it. It was on the AMCL, I believe
Yeah,
the
it's on the
AMCL.
AMCL Trovo.
Yes, so I believe one can go back there. Throne also said, shocking how Void took a map. So he was expecting them to lose 2-0 to Regiment. Do you share the same sentiments, Josh?
In some way, I do. Like, I don't know if you look at I believe if you look at the standings in the league, I don't think Void have been able to get an outright win. If they have gotten any, I feel it will most likely be an automatic win. You understand, from a team that didn't show up. But Void, I don't
Okay.
think Void have been able to get like actual 3 points by winning two maps. So I'm guessing that's why he was surprised that they managed to get a map off a team like Regiments. So yeah, I'll say to an extent, I share that surprise as well.
Wonderful, wonderful. I can see Deadshot here saying Void is really good in search and destroy. And then Sinzu also jumped in to say Knights only perform in day. Day, I believe that is shots fired in this case. And Throne was referring us back to the comeback from 97-8 by Comet Gaming in Hard Point. So
Yeah,
guys,
that
if
that
you
was
missed, yeah,
that was
go
insane.
ahead.
It was unexpected. I mean, you know when you say a match is already over, but Comet had other ideas. And nonetheless, it was against a team like Area 57, a really, really solid team, which is what makes it all the more impressive. You understand? So, yeah, if you missed that, you definitely missed out on a lot of action.
Good, good, good. Well, you can always go back to the Trovo channel to watch that fixture where you're just relaxing, just to prepare for the new week. And now let's jump straight into the table. The table for week 3, a lot of movements, and some people regained their position. Comet Gaming still sits there in first place, 25 points, 8 wins, and 1 loss. And they were able to pick 17 maps and they lost 4 maps. Elite Gamers have the same points also. So it's, they're tied on 8 wins and 1 loss. Area 57 still holding strong, apparently, with 22, just 3 points off the top, with 7 wins and 2 losses. So the difference is just that they lost a game. K9 didn't perform too well, but they're still up there, 20 points, 6 wins, 3 losses. Wakandans are slightly sliding down into the table with 18 points, 5 wins, 4 losses. Regiments, same, 18 points, um, 5 wins, and 4 losses, holding their position. Menace has improved. They are now with 18 points, also 5 wins, 4 losses. My Revenge, even with the 2 wins and a loss, brought them down the table, and they have 17 points, 5 wins, 4 losses. Knights, 8 points, still struggling. 2 wins, 7 losses. Same with Aphelion and Void Gaming. 5 points, 1 win, 8 losses. Josh, I think it's safe to say, after My Revenge, that first to eighth are kind of leaving Knights, Aphelion, and Void out of the race.
As it stands, you understand. Let's not look at the points. Yeah, it's still a race between the top four. You understand? K9 still have an outside chance. Like it's slim, but they still have an outside chance of ending up at the top of the table. You understand? Area 57 not too far behind, but you see, Comet and Elite Gamers, they have been consistent. Unlike a team like WKD that were at the top, then they fell further down the table, and K9 after their blistering starts. But you see, Comet Gaming and Elite Gamers, they have been consistent. Area 57 are not too far behind. I'm guessing their loss to Menace Gaming is why they are on 22 points. I'm sure they'll be ruining that one. And bottom half of the table, Knights are safe, and at the same time, they are not exactly safe. I mean, all that is keeping them out of the relegation battle there is map count, one map difference. That's the only thing
Mm,
that's keeping them safe. Other than that, I believe the bottom half of the table is sorted for the most part of it.
okay. So looking at K9, WKD regiments down to my revenge. Do you see as the fixtures go on, the weeks go on, do you see any changes in positions, or you think it's going to stay like this?
Um, I honestly feel regiments are going to overtake WKD on the standings. You understand? At some point in time, I have a feeling regiments would overtake WKD because regiments they had a bit of a rough start. Kayaks, one of their best players, if not their best, was unavailable most of the time. But now they are getting into stride. So I feel regiments would replace WKD in the fifth spot. And if K9 slack, they'll equally get replaced as well. And my revenge, yes, my revenge are definitely coming for sixth position. I sincerely feel my revenge will go higher than Menace and possibly Wakandans if they keep their habit of getting at least 2 wins out of 3 every week.
Hmm. Okay, wonderful. Let's read a few comments. I can see banters going on, and this is from Hyper Z CODM. He says Comet to win championship division, and Toby Raji said Comet on top. Ibrahim said Menace to the world, and Menace is okay. Menace is seventh. And he's saying also throwing saying menace to still climb up. So Josh, you are saying my revenge, and in the chat they are saying if a few other people are saying a menace. And someone is
I don't
saying
know.
menace will beat Comet soon.
Yeah, that is an impossible dream. But at the same time, this is AMCL where the impossible happens. So I wouldn't count that one out. I mean, if Area 57 could lose, what stops coming from losing as well? But apparently, going through the comments, you understand, it seems maybe I've not been paying quite a lot of attention to Menace. You understand the way some of the fans and viewers have been, because for a lot of them to be so, what's the word I would use for a lot of them to be so resolute in their belief that Menace would still climb higher up the table, then probably I'm in the wrong here. So in the coming weeks, I think I'll put an eye out on Menace.
Okay. Sinzu said okay, no, that was the wrong comment. Sinzu said menace not looking menacing. And Ruthless said Menace will stay for the bottom half. I think there was a comment I missed there, and it had to do with the top, saying the top of the league is very, very tight. Do you think one of the top three teams is going to break out, or you think it's going to be fight to the finish, Josh?
Sorry, what was that question again? Sorry, can you repeat it?
Yes. So I said, looking at the top of the table, someone said
Yeah.
it was tight. I was saying, do you think any of the teams is going to break out and lead, like, with points, or it's going to be a battle of, down to the wire?
To be honest, I honestly can't remember which team Comet lost to, but I know the match that Elite Gamers lost. I believe they lost courtesy of a DQ. You understand? So what I feel is I honestly don't see first and second changing, you understand? Unless one of them sleeps up and then they lose through DQ. But for them to lose like fair and square, I honestly don't see that happening at the moment. It's definitely going to those two teams are definitely going to be neck and neck in the race there for the foreseeable future.
Okay, guys. For our viewers, let us know who do you think will be the top three. And do you think let's know your thoughts? Who's going to be in first, second, third? Let's know who you think will be first, second, and third as we go into week 4. Okay, and now moving on. Let's move on to the team of the week, and we do have Shaz from Comet Gaming. We have Payne from Regiment. We have Toddler from Area 57. We have Phantom from My Revenge, if I'm okay, good. And we have Banana from Menace Gaming. It looks like the championship division, it's a fight each week for who is actually going to make the team of the week. Josh, what was your take or what was your surprise on the team of the week?
My surprise there was definitely Banana. I don't know if I got that right. Banana from Menace came in because like when I was looking through it, I was surprised to find out that he just joined Menace in the recently opened transfer window. You understand? And the two matches he played, he was the MVP in both matches. You understand? So when you talk about making an instant impact, it's almost like signing a 90 million pounds striker, and in his debut, he scores a hat trick. So yeah, that was definitely a surprise for me because in my mind, I was like, where have Menace been hiding this guy since? I mean, why did it take them so long to get him into the league if he can make such an instant impact? So yeah, that was definitely the surprise there for me.
Okay, so
Banana from Menace.
man, I can see Michael saying, "Where is Kairouge? He did not make this week." And there was a direct question here for you, Josh. I believe you're the right person to answer. Raihan, forgive me if I'm not pronouncing it correctly, said, "How do you guys even base the team of the week?"
I believe that is Rayhan Tayob. I don't know if I got that right. So basically, here's the process on how we base the team of the week. You understand? We look at the winning teams and we take note of the players that were MVPs. You understand? So if a player has like we have a list there where we list each player that has made the MVP. So this is hypothetical. Let's say Shaz has two MVPs throughout the week or three. Payne has two as well. Toddler has two. Phantom has two. Banana has two. You understand? That is how we easily get the team of the week. But in the situation whereby it's really, really tight, you understand? Like all the people who are shortlisted to be on the team of the week have maybe the same number of winning MVPs. Then we now bring losing MVPs into the count as well to show that okay, even though they lost, you understand, they still put up a valiant effort. They were still the most valuable players on their team, their respective teams. So yes, that's the process. We use MVP counts to grade the team of the week. I believe
Okay,
that answers the question.
that answers the question. Good. So I'm seeing a few comments of what people think the league will look like. Someone said Hyper Z said Comet to win, Elite Gamers second, and Area 57 third. And Docmer also said first Comet, second Elite Gamers, and third K9. So it's still a long way to go. The second half of the season will continue. So let's see who keeps their position and who improves or who
Who
would
falls down the
go
log?
for exactly.
All right.
Okay. Also, now let's go to the player of the week. Josh, you can run us through the
All
numbers.
right. I believe we've all seen the standings. Comet Gaming as well as Shaz, they have been at the apex level so far in the league. And this week, let's look at Shaz. In the hard points, he had 49 kills in total and 41, I believe 41 deaths or so. S&D 13-9, domination 1922. The only one where I would say he went negative is domination, you understand? But other than that, he performed admirably well. And then to be selected as the player of the week, you understand? You know, Comets, being how strong they are, they would most likely have multiple players that are vying to be in the team of the week as well as become the player of the week. So for someone like Shaz to get it, man, that should tell you that he performed really, really well. So let's not be deceived by the stats. I mean, we all saw Michael's stats last week and everyone was blown away, but let's not take anything from Shaz. He did really, really well to be here and then to be chosen as the championship division player of the week.
Okay. So a few people disagree with you. Someone said K9's Kai Rouge with was the best player of the tournament from this week. And
I believe I know what he's talking about, but there was a response that Comet Gaming made, and I believe that response is apt. I believe Kai Rouge went on a 13 kill streak in their match against Comet Gaming, which is quite impressive. You understand? Doing it against a team such as Comet Gaming. But there is one thing that is very important here, guys. Getting the win. I mean, of what use is it if you drop a 40 bomb, but your team loses? You understand? So we can't start grading performances based on, okay, he went on a 13 kill streak or he almost nuked this or that. It doesn't really mean anything if your team doesn't get the win in the long run, because all that matters, both now and at the end of the season, you understand, is who has the most points. So, yes, not to take anything from Kai Rouge, that was really, really impressive. You understand, a really good performance. But regardless, we definitely can't start rating things like that in Player of the Week.
thank you for that breakdown. I think Throne is supporting what you said. He said his play was the best play in a lost match. Okay, right, guys. So that is all we have for the championship. For all those who are just joining us, again, this is the AMCL, the African Mobile Community League Week 3 recap, where we recap everything that's happened for the previous action week. And it is brought to you by the Lagos Esports Forum and proudly sponsored by Tip NG, which is a gifting platform for all content creators. If you stream your games, even if it's just your clips that you're putting up, your kills, your wonderful kill clips, you putting it up, you can always get tipped for it, where you don't need to share your bank information. You do not need to share your phone number or email address. All you need to do is go to tip.i.ng to set up your profile, and you give you a link which you can share with everyone, and then people who are impressed with you can go ahead and tip you. So, guys, we're going to the Premiership division, and let us know what your surprises were, if any team disappointed you or they did well. And now we're going to the first match day of the week, which was Monday, and that was match day 7. And Incognito winning Cryptic 2-1. Snow Wolves losing to Regime Unruly 1-2. Zero Remorse losing to Draco Solemn 1-2. Bloody Veterans forfeiting, so it was a win for Cyclone Fury. And Syndicate Mercs not having any fixture, having an automatic win. Josh, what was your surprise of match day 7?
Um, Man, where do I even want to start from? Okay, let's see. Let's start with Incognito versus Cryptic Gaming. I mean, we saw one of the biggest balls of steels moments, you understand, in the Premiership division, in the S&D matchup between Incognito and Cryptic Gaming. I mean, the match was on the line. If I'm not mistaken, it was tied at 5-5, and it was a 1v4. You know, most people would have given up and been like, okay, it's a lost match. But Michael, the player of the week, the player of the division last week, I
Last
believe,
week, yeah.
pulled off a 1v4 clutch in, I believe, under 10 seconds or 12, if I'm not mistaken, against Incognito to win his team the tie. I mean, nobody saw that coming. There's no way in hell you could script something like that. So, yes, that was definitely a very shocking moment. And for the viewers, that was content, the kind of content they were there to see. So, yes, that was one. Then another interesting, I wouldn't call it a shocker, but I would call it an interesting match, was Zero Remorse versus Draco Salem. I mean, that was the matchup between two heavyweights, you understand? And my expectations were either what's it called, a 2-0 win for either side. You understand? Because we've gotten used to seeing these teams grind out wins. So I figured when two elephants fight, one would either dominate the other. You understand? So to see a 2-1 matchup was quite interesting, and most people will say that was expected. But for me, I was expecting a 2-0 win for either side. And then another shocker, yes, not so much a shocker as the others, but a shocker regardless, was Regime Unruly versus Snow Wolves. I mean, Regime won the first map in game, but they lost it courtesy of one of their players using a banned item. And that's where the shocker comes in. I mean, we are in week 3, by now I feel like everyone should know, you understand, the rules, should know what's banned and all that. So a Reggie Morley player using a banned item, that was quite shocking. And imagine if that was the tiebreaker. So he basically sold the match for the opponent. So yeah, that was a shocker. Other than
Yeah.
that, everything was above board as expected.
Okay. I think for me, I was expecting a 2-0 win for Incognito. I was actually really impressed by Cryptic Gaming. Time week in, week out, they've shown that they can actually grind out wins, win maps. So it was really impressive because I was thinking it was going to be straight 2-0 domination. So I was really surprised. For Draco to zero remorse, I was not surprised. I expected a 2-1 win. I didn't know which way it would go, but I kind of noticed something about Draco, and that was they kind of wake up slow in hard points, then they try and pick up in search and destroy. Then they force you into, the last map. And the games that they have lost 2-0 has been as a result of that slow, that sluggish getting into the game, and then they are unable to pull themselves out in search and destroy. I believe even McKay, who was the shoutcaster, was saying it. They always look like not interested in hard and destroy. Is that something you've noticed? And why do you think that happens?
There's a common saying in the African compson. A lot of people have said it that Draco Salem are the kings of domination. You understand? So I feel like that statement for it tallies with what you're saying. That Draco Salem, they usually have a rough start in hard points. So if they are unable to grind out the win, they make sure that they win S&D, and then they drag you to their playground, which is domination. And very, very few teams. I think only two teams, not necessarily in just AMCL, but like in the compson, have been able to, I might be wrong, have been able to beat them in domination. But yeah, I feel you might just have given away Draco's game plan. They play hard points however they want. If they win, all well and good. But the S&D, that's when they get right down to business. They get the win, and then they bring you to domination for 300 seconds of pain and suffering, basically.
Good, good. So, comments. Throne said Premiership make zero cut soup, and Doc.
I think he typed that in Pigeon. Say Premiership. I think he was talking about the Premier Division that
Oh,
Zero Remorse should, cut soap or their lucky soap or whatever that is keeping them at the top of the league. I
at
believe
top
it's
of it.
just bants, basically.
Okay, and Doc Mar said zero, very disappointing. So he was disappointed in that result against Draco Solem. And
Yeah, I
Sinzu,
believe he's the manager for Zero Remorse, if I'm not mistaken. I might be
oh,
wrong,
okay.
but I believe he is.
Okay, and Sinzu referred to Michael the Beast. I think you should change your name to Michael the Beast to the 1v4 versus that was Incognito versus Cryptic, I believe, and Michael jumped into it to say my 1 versus 4 against ICG. I can see
Yeah,
some
that was that
some
was
bragging
that
going on there.
was man, that was a top-notch performance. And I'm not surprised if you go on the AMCL Trovo channel, you understand. There's a way you can check clips. That's plays that have been clipped by viewers. You won't be surprised to see at least three different clippings of that 1v4. So yeah, that was. I mean, like, if we were to have something like plays of the tournament, let's not speak about that. But I'm just hypothetically, let's not, let everything out right now. But if we were to have something like that, I feel that 1v4 will be right up there. It will be right up there. Definitely, definitely. That was a performance for the ages.
Okay, so there was an interesting comment here. Someone said bloody veterans would have made this more interesting. What are your thoughts on that?
Um, See, that's the thing. Bloody Veterans, they had a really good roster coming into the league, you understand? And a lot of people expected more from them, but owing to certain factors, probably the same as Aphelion, if I'm not mistaken, you understand? We were never really able to see or get the best of Bloody Veterans. But yes, indeed, I believe he's not wrong. BV would have been like a dark horse, you understand, in the tournament. They'll be there to throw a spanner in multiple teams' plans, you understand, while trying to further their own ambition as well. So yeah, BV would definitely have made the league a lot more interesting. But I
Okay.
believe Cryptic have stepped into that role quite well at the moment.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing also. Moving to match day 8, Regime Unruly lost to Incognito 0-2. Draco Solemn lost to Cryptic Gaming 0-2. Syndicate Mercs losing to Snowwolves 1-2. Cyclone Fury to Zero Remorse 1-2. And Bloody Veterans, though having a bad run, were able to get an automatic win. Um, uh, Josh, what was your surprise for this match day 8?
Yeah, I believe I don't even need to say it. I believe the surprise for me was what's it called? Cryptic
Cryptic and
Gaming coming
Draco.
out on top against Draco Salem. That was definitely my surprise matchup of the week because I looked at the lineup and as we all know, Cryptic Gaming, they have Michael, they have Smile, they have Polarity, you understand? Not exactly well-known names, but at the same time, they get the work done. So I figured at best, most likely a 2-1 win, you understand, for Draco Salem. Or if they're in Imperious form, a 2-0 win for them. So to my greatest surprise, Draco Salem lost the hard points. And then we got to S&D and I was like, okay, yeah, they will definitely wake up now, you understand? And Cryptic Demons lulled them to sleep, just told them, relax, sit back, take this L. It was definitely surprising for me. I definitely didn't expect that at all. So yeah, that has to be my, what's it called? My surprise matchup there of the week. And secondly, I definitely didn't see Zero Remorse dropping a map to Cyclone Fury. Like, no disrespect to Cyclone Fury or whatever, but Zero Remorse as a team, you understand? I believe if you look at from MGT, WCS, right up until now, you understand, Zero must have been racking up experience. They've been building, they've been adding the right pieces when necessary to become the team they are now. So, there are certain matchups when you hear Zero Remorse, you just automatically count it as a win for them. So this
Mm-hmm.
was one of those matches that I counted as, okay, easy 2-0 claps and all that. Cyclone Fury surprising me there, getting one map and potentially important 1 point as well there. So yeah, that was a surprise for me.
Yeah, you remember what I mentioned about Draco Solem? I think in this fixture against Cryptic, as surprising as it was, I think Cryptic got onto caught onto their gimmicks of search and destroy. Like, no, this S&D, you're not dragging us into domination. They locked it there and there. Like, no, we're not going to allow you to drag us into your own minefield because it's like, okay, we know you're the king of domination. We're not going. So it was surprisingly, and I don't know. I think to me, I think Draco
You
needs
see,
to.
you see the matchup, yeah, the matchup between Draco Salem and Cryptic Gaming. I was especially looking forward to the S&D because we all know Cryptic Gaming have Michael, a cracked sniper, you understand, and then we know Draco Salem have Holy as well, and then Sadiq, an equally good sniper, but he's not as well known as what's it called, as Holy. So unless you've been keeping an eye on Draco for the longest time, you wouldn't really know about him. So in my mind, I was like, this should be an interesting matchup. You understand? Two top snipers. That's if Sadiq didn't play, or if he did, three top snipers. You understand? Going up against each other. I was expecting to see a lot of insane snipes, but unfortunately, or rather, should I say, fortunately for Cryptic that day, the insane snipes were one-sided. Man, Michael. Whew,
Michael the Beast. I've
Michael
said
did
he should
things to
change
Holy.
his
Let's
name.
just see. Let's just put it this way. Michael did things to Holy. Let's just leave it at that. He did things to Holy. Like there was a period, there was a particular angle. You understand? Right, very close to, I believe, the B bomb sites. Michael got Holy there in one round. Then in another round again, he got him that exact same spot. Man, I feel like Holy must have gone to bed like traumatized that day because what Michael did to him, I would hate to be in his shoes, to be honest.
Michael, so much for you. Let's move to Face Off Friday, match day 9, where Incognito won Draco Solemn 2-1. Regime Unruly won Syndicate Mercs 2-0. Cryptic winning Cyclone Fury 2-0. Snow Wolves winning Bloody Veterans 2-0. Surprisingly, Snow Wolves picked all 3 points available for week 3. Do you think that's a new start to their season?
I believe we could say that Snow Wolves had no, I don't think Snow Wolves didn't pick all available points. I believe they lost to Regime 2-1. They did lose to Regime 2-1. So they won 2 matches.
Two matches. Okay, yes, my
Yeah, but
mistake.
regardless, I would say it's a breath of fresh air for Snowballs. They got 2 wins in the week under their belts. Let's see if that propels them to new heights. You understand? They finally found their feet and all that. So yeah. So the result against Bloody Veterans, I wouldn't say I was surprised by it because BV just got in some new players, you understand, in the transfer window. So, it takes some time to blood a new lineup to get them to gel together. So that result wasn't really surprising at all, to say the least. It wasn't at all. Every other thing was what's it called? Was as expected. Even the Incognito versus Draco Solem results. I figured that either team would win 2-1. I just didn't know which team would do
Which
that, you
team?
understand?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think now in this case also it was a because I was really worried um for Incognito because Draco successfully dragged them in the S&D and I was like, wow, how would Incognito react to domination? But I think Incognito really responded well to my surprise because I was like, oh well, it's done and dusted because Draco will take domination, but I was surprised and like you said, just a few teams have successfully beat them in that
Domination. I mean,
yeah.
even in the chat that day, a lot of people were saying domination is Draco are kings of domination. And I'm guessing Incognito players heard all the talk and then they got right down to the business. But regardless, the match was still very, very close. Like in the beginning, Draco had a triple cap, you understand? Then Incognito came roaring back. They held quite a sizable lead. I believe the first half ended 167, you understand? And it was looking like smooth sailing for Incognito. But then Draco Solem came right back, triple cap after triple cap, and then there was drama in the match basically. Incognito had 3 Goliaths and somehow managed to lose all of them. A Draco Solem player stole one and used it to destroy the other two. So I would say, yeah, Incognito slacked in the domination, and Draco Solem almost made them pay. If not that time ran out in that match, I believe, yeah, Draco Solem might have ended up winning that
Ended up
tie, if not for the timer running out.
good. Hype Z said regime went on demon time against syndicates.
Hmm. I honestly don't know how to respond to this. You understand? Because like Tron said earlier, when we were talking about the championship division, there was something Tron said that Wakandans went up against struggling teams. You understand? So if we look, I believe we'll be looking at the table shortly. When we do that, you will understand why I referenced what Tron said earlier. For you to say you went demon time, it has to be against at least one of the top 5 teams. You understand? If you beat a team that's in the bottom half of the table 2-0, I mean that is an expected result. Anything less than that is embarrassing on your part. So I don't think Hype's what's the word I'll use? I don't think he should have said that. You understand? I don't think he should have said that.
Okay, so Smiley also said ICG the new domination king. How true is that, Josh?
It's still too early to say. It's still too early to say. I mean, Draco Salem were crowned the domination kings for a reason, and ICG beat them on Friday, yes. But we would now have to look at further matchups, you understand, along the line against solid domination teams, not just Draco Celeb. So if Incognito can continue to grind out those wins in domination, then we might now say, okay, the crown has changed heads and Incognito are the new domination kings. But for now, it's still too early to say that based off one result. You understand?
Okay, good. So let's move on. Let's move on to what the table looks like for week 3. And there you have Zero Remorse having 8 wins, 1 loss, and that was the loss to Jaco Solem. And they stand in first place with 25 points. Incognito just 1 point behind them with also 8 wins and 1 loss. And Regime Unruly, 21 points, 7 wins, 2 losses. Cryptic, 19 points with 6 wins, 3 losses. Draco Solem, 6 wins, 3 losses with 19 points also. And you have Cyclone Fury, 14 points, 4 wins, 5 losses, and Snow Wolves 11 points with 3 wins and 6 losses. Um, Josh, I think the attention now is between third, fourth, and fifth. How do you think this is going to pan out as the season continues?
As it stands, you understand, third and fifth is still not guaranteed. Even what's it called? Even second and possibly first is not guaranteed. You understand? Let's not look at the points difference because the same way nobody foresaw Zero Remorse losing to Draco Salem. No offense, Draco Salem are a really good team and all, but Zero Remorse were on a winning streak and everyone expected that it would continue. So it's the same way Zero Remorse as well as Incognito. You understand? They could falter by the roadside and any of the remaining three teams in the top five could take advantage. But as it stands, you can see how close third to fifth, like you mentioned, is. If Regime get one loss and then Draco and Cryptic win, Regime drop right down to fifth. So as it is, everyone has to be really, really cautious. Managers telling their players, let's not drop any points, let's not drop any maps. Because as it stands, winning the map, you understand, can be very crucial. I mean, look at Incognito and Zero Remorse. Just one map there being the difference between both teams as well.
Both
Yeah.
teams. Mhm.
So as it is, the third to fifth, it could still swing either way. Is I know what the halfway point and all, but it's still too early to predict what's it called, which team would come out on top.
Okay, so Jinx Mark said regime still climbing. So he believes regime will still climb up. Ibrahim Dabo said zero no get remorse. And then more comments coming in. And Lochman said second half of the league, regime's going to make a comeback. And I think McHugh Viper said BV looking strong. They could win the tournament. I think now this is just trolling bloody veterans. With the
Exactly,
new
because I
go
don't
ahead.
see how that is mathematically possible. I don't think it is for bloody veterans to end up on top. Like it's not even possible.
Okay, with how active they have been in the brief transfer market, do you think it's a beginning of, something new? Do you think they'll crawl out of that relegation zone?
Yeah, I believe bloody veterans would get out of the relegation zone, but the issue here is the team that is right outside it is Snow Wolves, and I feel like Snow Wolves would want to put more distance between themselves and the relegation zone. And let's not also forget that BV were not the only ones to make acquisitions in the transfer window. You understand? Snow Wolves made as well, and one of their recent acquisitions made an instant impact. Played I believe he played 2 matches and he won MVPs in those matches, if I'm not wrong. So man, it's going to be an uphill task, but it's going to be very interesting at the same time. You understand? Because right now, I mean, forget the fact that Syndicate and BV are in the red and Snows seem to be safe, sort of. Anything could happen. Syndicate could end up escaping and Snows will get sucked down, or Snows will escape and BV would escape and it will be Snows and Syndicates. It's still too early to say. Still
To
too
say,
early to say.
okay,
Even
before
Cyclone, sorry, even Cyclone that are in 14, they are not exactly safe. You understand? All it takes is an intimidating run of fixtures against at least maybe three of the top five teams. You understand? And if BV and the others manage to win theirs, then it becomes a problem for Cyclone. So as it stands, it's still too early to say.
okay, good. So, guys, this is just an interesting. Let me know your thoughts. Where do you think bloody veterans will end up at the end of the season? Do you think they will be relegated, or do you think they would, find a way to at least save themselves off relegation? Let us know what your thoughts are. I can see a few banters. People are already saying bloody veterans will go to the championship division and they will be playing with Wakandans.
Man, man.
Okay, so let's go to the team of the week, and we do have once again Xerox Beast from Incognito. You have uh, Dasifa. Forgive me if I'm not pronouncing that well. From
Yeah, you
Snow
got that right.
Wolves.
You got that. I believe
Dasifa. Okay,
it's. I
good.
think Dasifa. Yeah.
Dasifa. We do have from Regime Unruly, Rete, and Yomad from Cryptic Gaming, and Pirad from Snow
No,
Wolves.
that's.
This
I believe
time,
that's pronounced Pyrax. Pyrax from Snowwolves.
Pyrax. Like comments I'm already saying, no, Michael is the question.
Like I explained earlier, we usually count MVPs. You understand? And during the week, I think Michael had one MVP, or I think he had zero, if I'm not mistaken. But Umad had two MVPs. You understand? And I believe that was in the match against Draco Salem, if I'm not mistaken. He was the MVP in hard points, and he was the MVP as well in search and destroy. I think the viewers need to understand something, that just because someone drops a 40 bomb in one match, you understand, it doesn't necessarily guarantee that the person is going to be in the team of the week. Because we look at stats, we look at your number of MVPs before you make it into the what's it called, the team of the week. Like, okay, let's look for instance. Xerox Best had 4 MVPs this week. Dasifa had two. Rete had two as well, I believe. Umad had two, and Pyrax, he recently joined them in the transfer window, and he had two MVPs as well. So now that I've listed the numbers of MVPs that they had, where do you want to put Michael in this lineup? That's so you understand. You understand the logic. Most people
Yeah.
feel okay. He clutched a 1v4 against ICG. He had some really nice snaps on stream. That doesn't necessarily guarantee him getting into the team of the week.
Mm, mm. Okay, I hope
And
I
we have
hope Josh has
Smile in
been
the
able to
chat
clear
saying,
that.
you mad, one of the best OBJ players and still top fragging. And see, that's one thing. That's one thing, like it has been said before, but that's one thing that doesn't really get much love. OBJ players don't get a lot of love, you understand? They do the dirty work for their teams to get the wins, but everyone pays attention to those who drop 30 bombs, 40 bombs. Nobody pays attention to who stays in the hard points the longest. So I feel like for someone like you, Mad, being an OBJ player, and then still getting two MVPs and getting into the team of the week, man, that's really impressive, to be honest. That's really, really impressive.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So let's also move to who the player of the week is. So the player of the week is Xerox Beast from Incognito. Josh, kindly walk us through his statistics.
All right, and let's see. Xerox Beasts overall KD 1.36, HP 1.35 KD, S and D 1.38 KD. I believe, let's see. Incognito played 3 matches this week, right?
Yes.
I believe 13 of Xerox Beasts 18 kills came in one match. 13 of those 18 kills came in one match, and that was against, I believe, Regime Unruly. Yeah. So if you go back and then you look at like way back from week one, you understand, and then you come back to this week, Xerox Base has been really, really consistent, be it S and D, be it domination or hard points, you understand. And if you look at the stats, you can see how closely they match: 1.36, 1.35, 1.38, 1.36. Xerox Base has been really, really consistent with his performances. You understand? So it's no surprise that he had 4 winning MVPs during the week, and then he is what's he called? The Premier Division Player of the Week. It's no surprise whatsoever.
Okay, good. I can see Hype saying we fed Xerox kills in search and destroy the beasts. I can see someone else calling him the beast in this case. Well, he missed out of week two and he returned in week three. He was part of the
Yeah,
team in week one.
why he missed out was, I believe, Incognito had an automatic win, courtesy of
Okay, yes, that's true. No
yeah, they
fixture.
had one. Then they lost to Zero Remorse, and I believe they beat Snow Wolves. But in the match against Snow Wolves, Artax came in and had an immediate impact. He had 18 kills in S&D and 4 deaths. Xerox Based had just one winning MVP that week, so it wasn't like putting it side by side with Artax's performance. It wasn't enough. You understand? for him to get the nod. But other than that, he has been consistent. Week one as well, he had 4 winning MVPs. I think he's setting a standard here at this point.
Yeah, I think he is. I agree with you on that. Analo said Xerox is a mercenary. That is how good um, the boy is. Okay, and that is all we have for for the AMCL recap. Once again, this recap is brought to you by the Lagos Esports Forum, sponsored by Tip NG. Like I mentioned, all you need to do is sign up and post your link so that your friends, families, well wishers can tip you for your content. And like we always do, I know someone earlier had asked about giveaway, like we always do every week. What you need to do for us to tip you, we want to tip, and this is just for fans, not for players now. So as a team, get your fans to participate in this competition. Get your fans to sign up for tip. They go to tipp.i.ng, create their profile and get a link. So what you do is go to Lagos Esports Forum on Twitter. You follow them, follow Tip themselves, NG. Do a screenshot of your link and post it. So you mention Tip, you mention Lagos Esports Forum, and then if you do it correctly, then we will go ahead and tip something into your account. Where most people have missed it is they're not doing the appropriate thing. So what you do is once you have registered, do a screenshot of your link, post it and mention Lagos Esports Forum, and Tip NG on Twitter. And then the winners will go ahead and tip them. So from me, that is all you have. Josh, what do you have? What should we expect for week 4? Josh, are you with me? Josh, I think you're on speaker, if you can hear me.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, once again, my mic was off. Sorry. Sorry, I missed that. What was it you said?
What should we expect for week 4?
Week four. In the Premier Division rather, I believe it's almost like we have a reset now. You understand? All first half of matches have been played. So now I believe we're in the final stretch. You understand? So we're definitely going to see a lot of matches with much closer score lines because everyone will now be playing cautiously so as not to make any mistakes or drop any points. So yeah, I believe some matches there will be violence. Draco Salem, Regime, Zero Remorse, Incognito. Yeah, matches involving those teams, you understand? There'll be violence assured. But at the same time, like I said, we'll see a lot of tighter matches. That I'm speaking about scorelines, yeah. That's for the Premier Division. And then for the Championship Division, I mean, this is just a prediction, but I have a feeling I might be wrong though, that some teams will drop points, like unexpected losses. I have a feeling we'll see that here in the coming week.
Okay, well, that would be wonderful to see. We'll always have that recap for week 4, same times on Sunday, 4 p.m. Western African time to discuss everything that happened during the week. For everyone who tuned in, thank you so much, and we hope to see you back next week. Do have a lovely week, and we look forward to speaking with you.